Guys, I'm actually beyond excited to bring this video to you guys because I've given all the mindset advice. Sorry, I've given all the tactical advice. I've made the videos about how to get abs, the stages you need to go through, the phases you need to go through to go from, skinny fat, like I am on the left, to me now. Right? I've given you all that, right? And I have touched on mindset, but this video is going to rewire your brain for consistency. I'm going to take you guys exactly through not only what I experienced in my fitness journey and what I also experienced in my business journey, but also what my clients experience too. This video, if you understand it and you study everything I'm going to talk about, it's going to rewire your brain. It's really going to get you to understand not only where you're currently at, but what's ahead. And I guarantee you this video will change your life. If I had this video when I was still out of shape, when I was skinny fat, or maybe even when I was starting my journey, I was putting in the work, but I didn't know if I was on the right path, this video would have just hit me hard. So I'm going to get into it. So, first, what am I looking at right now? I call this the hump. These are the 5 stages that everybody goes through when they accomplish something great. And obviously, we're going to talk about it from a fitness avenue here. There's 5 stages. There's your initial motivation stage on the left. You have this stage 2, which I call uncertain investment. You have this identity shift stage, stage 3, at the top of the bell curve. And this bell curve isn't just for no reason. It's intentionally designed to look like this. I intentionally picked a bell curve. And then stage 4, optimism, stage 5, new standards. Let's get into it. What is stage 1? You see motivation here. What is that? So the motivation stage, you've probably all been through it, probably several times. I've probably been through this stage in my fitness journey like 3 or 4 times before I actually stuck to the journey consistently and got to where I am now. But this is it probably lasts like 1 to 3 weeks. It's those times where you just get that spur, or you just get that surge of motivation, right? Maybe it's something from a video that galvanizes you into the gym, or maybe it's looking at yourself in the mirror and just hating what you see, as you can see in the picture on the right. I remember after I took this picture, I started going to the gym for maybe a month, and then I fell off track and didn't pick it up for like another year. But it was because it was the worst I ever looked, right? So it's basically sparked by the pain of staying. It's sparked because the pain of staying the same is outweighed by the pain of starting. So essentially, it is more painful to stay the same than it is to get to the gym to the first time. That's what it's saying. And this forces you into a game planning. So it is beneficial. It's not this little gimmicky stage that is unserious. It's definitely unserious and it's definitely not sustainable, but it is important. It is notable because it's something that actually gets you into making progress. It gets you in a game planning. When before you're just going through life, you're not really caring, you're not really putting too much attention towards your fitness. This gets you into the mindset of game planning and thinking long term and strategizing, how you're going to get to these goals. So it is beneficial. And the downside of this though is that you feel like you're entering a challenge when fitness is a lifestyle and it's a journey. So you go into it being like, I need to get ripped this month. I need to lose this amount of pounds in the next 90 days, right? And that's not the way to go about it. You can have those goals, but if you go into it thinking like it's a challenge, like you're just going to snap your fingers and your lifestyle and your standards and your habits are going to change overnight, it never works like that, right? It's a continuation of repeatedly bettering yourself and pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone, right? And that's why things get old pretty fast. If you have been in this stage before, by like week 2, you're like, Jesus, I really can't do this, right? But then that segues into the next part of the hump. So this is the most important. I guarantee you, the majority of you guys watching this video, because I know who watches my videos, I know what my target audience is. The majority of you guys are in this place, right? Because if you were in the identity shift phase, you probably wouldn't need my help. If you were in the optimism phase, maybe you could benefit from, I mean, you'd still benefit from my videos, but it wouldn't hit as hard. And if you're in the new standards phase, then you're kind of just watching my videos for fun or just for a different perspective, right? But if you're here watching this video for actual guidance, you're likely in this stage 2, and called the uncertain investment phase. And this is where 99.9% of people give up. You go to the mall, you go to the grocery store, just typical public places, how many people have six packs? How many people are shredded? How many people are jacked? Very little. Maybe you'll see one person who's in like exceptional shape out of the 300 people that are there. How many people do you think tried at one point in their life to get into great shape, to get jacked, to get ripped? Everybody. I guarantee you walk into that mall, there's 1,000 people in there, you catch maybe one or two guys who are in really great shape. Yet every single person in that mall at one point in their life, whether they were young, whether they were teenagers, whether they're in their 20s or 30s, at one point they tried to get in shape, right? They put forth effort and they gave up. They were in this phase. They were in this uncertain investment phase, and it takes place right after the initial motivation phase. Because, like I said, things get old pretty fast when you're in phase or stage one. So, what is it? Let's like how do you know if you're in this phase? Well, I like this picture on the right. It feels like it's the new you versus the old you, right? I don't necessarily like this expression, like you have to get rid of the old you so the new you can exist, but it is true to a certain extent. You're fighting between two versions of yourself. Like you're changing your habits, you're changing your standards, and you're replacing the bad habits, you're replacing the old thing. Like so it really is this very transformative period. And some of the keys that some of the reasons people give up are the reasons I list on the left. You're working just as hard as everyone else, but you have little to no results yet. So you're in the gym, you're lifting weights, you're running, you're working hard, you're pushing yourself, you're extremely stressed, you're extremely uncomfortable doing those things. Excuse me. But you don't look like everyone else. You're in this gym, you look out of shape with your shirt off, you don't look good. But you're working just as hard as everyone else. You're lifting just as hard as everyone else is. You're putting just as much effort. So this is why people give up, because they get discouraged. Right? So if you're feeling it, you're in the right place. If you're feeling like this, you're doing it right. Another thing, you're hoping for results, right? You're not certain. Like for me now, I can bulk up again, and I'm confident. Like I'm sure, like I just do this every single day. I'm gonna be shredded in 4 months, right? You don't have that perspective yet, so you're doing the things like you see online, or maybe you have a coach, but you still are hoping because you don't have that personal experience, that personal proof that this works, right? So no matter how much I tell you like this is what will get you the results, you're never going to fully believe it until you see it for yourself. So you're hoping that what you're doing is going to get the outcome you're looking for. Another thing, you constantly feel like you're doing the wrong thing, right? You see so much, especially on social media, you see so much contradictory advice that it's extremely confusing and it's extremely frustrating. Especially, let's say you listen to me, right? I tell you to eat this much calories, this much protein, you know, lift weights this many times per week, and then you see another dude, he's also shredded. He's like, you don't need to do all that. You just need to eat an animal based diet. You need to go on runs. You need to live this hybrid lifestyle. You're like, wait, which one should I pick? Because they're both in great shape, but they're telling me two completely different methodologies. You feel like you're doing the wrong thing. You're still doing it right because you're in this uncertain investment phase. You constantly have to remind yourself to trust the process. So obviously, like if you're I mean, it's called an uncertain investment for a reason. You're constantly reminding yourself to trust the process because you're constantly feeling like you're doing the wrong thing. You're constantly feeling like you're confused, you're frustrated. So you have to keep reminding yourself like just trust the process. Like in the back of your mind, you know that you know why you're feeling this confusion and frustration. It's because you haven't seen the results yet, but it doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing, which goes into the last thing I say, which is you're constantly confusing effort with results, where you feel like, oh, maybe I'm being lazy. Like I am working out 4 times a week and I am sticking to my diet most of the time, but maybe I'm just being lazy. That's why I don't have the results. When in reality, you just need to be more patient and give it more time. And I typically this phase lasts from like 1 to 6 months. But I put this picture here. If we go back to where it was before, there's a bicycle here, and it's biking uphill because that is very accurate to what it feels like. It does feel like you're biking uphill. And what is the bike? The bike is discipline. So what a lot of people think is they look at me who constantly is tracking my food. Every single day I track my food. Every single day I work out. Every single day I get great sleep. Every single day I eat the foods I need to eat. I hit my protein goal, and they think, "Oh, he's just so disciplined." It's like, yeah, I mean, I would probably say I'm more disciplined than the average person, but I like doing the things now, and I'll get into how I actually got to the point where I enjoy doing it. Because if everyone can do anything they enjoy, right? So if you enjoy doing it, then the progress, it's just game over. You're just gonna have an exponential surge of progress. But during this phase, this is where discipline is most important. Discipline feels like you're biking up this steep incline, right? Like I said, this was intentional. This was There's a reason that I put this bell curve here, because it does feel like you're biking up this incline, and it's hard. It's really like this is a really hard phase. So this bike is discipline, right? Discipline is a tool you have to use to get up this, to get to the top, to get to stage three. And the reason, and how I describe it here is, the goal isn't like, discipline is not to get you the abs. Discipline is not to get you the toned body, the 10% body fat, the more muscle mass, the weight loss, all that. Discipline doesn't get you those things. Discipline gets you a new identity. It gets you new habits. It gets you new standards. And those things get you the abs. Those things get you ripped, right? But the point of discipline, the point of this discipline bike, the point of biking up this steep incline for 1 to 6 months, although like in your head, like it's like, yeah, I want to get the abs. What it's really for is to transform your identity, your habits, and your standards, which leads into stage three, the identity shift. So stage three isn't honestly a phase or a stage. It's honestly just an intermittent period between stage two and stage four. So I'll explain what it is. So this is like the stage where you've been doing it long enough where you start to see the results fast. So the results really start to pick up. Like if stage three is 1 to 6 months, usually what I see with like my skinny fat clients, they come to me in month one, two, and maybe like half of month three, the results aren't very good. I mean, depending on the person and how hard they're working, maybe they can see results. Usually it's just like weight loss, but then like from months 3 to 6, it's game over. Like the results are just coming day and day and day. They're looking more and more ripped. They're losing the weight. Like it's awesome. But stage three is when you start seeing the results fast, and the benefits of the results start to appear plus repeat. So what does that mean? What do I mean by the benefits of the results start to appear slash repeat? Um, what is the result? The result is getting the abs. The result is getting the muscle definition, right? The benefits of that, people compliment you. You look in the mirror, you feel good. You can take your shirt off at the beach. I mean, depending what season it is, right? You might not experience that, but you at least have the confidence to feel like you can take your shirt off wherever, right? These things start to appear, and then they start to repeat. And then what happens is that you start attaching, I'll get into this in stage four, but you start attaching the inputs to this positive emotion. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he said when he's in the gym and he's lifting weights, he felt like he was having an orgasm. Like that's how euphoric it was for him. But it didn't start like that. When he was the skinny kid in the gym, like he hated it. Like I know what it's like. Nobody wants to lift the weights if they don't have the results. But over a certain period of time, you just become so engulfed in the future pleasure that this current, maybe uncomfortable act is going to get you, that you don't even experience the temporary discomfort. You're just in the future gratification in a sense. Right? So what happens is like you're lifting the weights in the gym, but you're feeling the positive emotion from when that girl is looking at you now because you have the abs, or when you can take your shirt off at the gym and feel, or at the beach and feel proud, or when people are asking you, yo, dude, you look ripped, bro. What did you do? Like when you're curling that bicep, when you're curling that dumbbell, that's how you're feeling, right? So this is where the identity shift starts to come into place because you start associating the inputs that get you the results with the positive emotion that you experience from delaying the gratification. Very, very powerful, which I talk about here. You start and then the last thing I say is you start associating more with the new habits than the old habits. So this is how you really know you're in this identity shift. You can't fake it. This is something you either truly feel or you don't. Me now, I'll get into this later, but like you start feeling more inclined to being consistent with your diet than you do going and eating how you used to eat, eating the pizza, eating all the junk you used to eat before you even started the journey. Right? So this is how you know you're in this stage. And then stage 4. So this is probably the most enjoyable phase, the optimism phase, right? So you see fast progress, like I was saying, like after months 4, 5, the progress really starts to pick up, and you start noticing day by day, week by week, I'm looking leaner, I'm feeling better. This just has this kind of positive momentum, upward spiral, where you're motivated by the results. You're motivated by the results. The motivation gets you in the gym. The motivation gets you to be more consistent. The more consistent you are, the harder you work. You see the more results. So it kind of goes back in a circle, like an upward spiral. And this is the most enjoyable part because typically, if you're starting like skinny fat, you're starting out of shape. You're getting newbie gains too. So you're getting the physiological fast results of your body just responding to the new stimulus of muscle growth that it hadn't previously experienced. And then, like I was saying in the stage before, you get more and more positive feedback where you're doing the inputs, you're tracking your food, you're lifting the weights, and then you start noticing every day, oh, this person's complimenting me, oh, this person's asking me for advice, oh, I caught this girl looking at me, oh, I actually felt confident putting this nice outfit on. Like all these things just attach through repetition. The more and more these things happen, the more and more you attach those positive emotions with the initial inputs. And another sign, I guess, you're in this stage is that you start looking at the before pictures and it like feels surreal. It's like, dude, I look like that just 6 months ago. Like my life has transformed. And if you look at the pictures I put on the right, the picture of me at the top, this was me in like February 2022. The picture on the far right, this is me probably July 2022, and then this is me October 2022, right? So I mean, you can like even visually see it. Like I gained probably like 15 pounds of muscle here. So I initially got toned, right? That was kind of like the identity shift phase. And then I got toned, and then I just kept working hard, kept working out, kept sticking to my diet, and I put on like 15 pounds of muscle because of newbie gains and because, like I was saying before, like I was just so motivated by the fast results that got me in the gym, that got me more consistent, that got me working harder, which got me more results, and then that more results gave me more motivation, so on and so forth. And then the final stage, new standards. You have new standards for yourself. What does that mean? The inputs become genuinely essential. You see, I underline the word genuinely because people will be in like stage 2 or stage 3 and they'll like say that they're essential, but like deep down they don't feel like they're essential. Like right now, tracking my food every single day or working out is genuinely essential. Like there's no doubt in my brain that's saying like, you know, I do like slacking off, or I do like not tracking my food, or I do like not going to the gym, right? Like I'm being 100% authentic with you guys. I have to track my food every day. I have to hit the gym every single day. Like that, it's a standard for me. The same way brushing my teeth is a standard for myself. Right? Imagine how you'd feel if you went a whole day without brushing your teeth. You'd feel disgusting, or at least I would feel disgusting. I don't know about your hygiene protocols, but I would feel disgusting if I didn't go a day without showering or go a day without brushing my teeth. That's the same way I'd feel if I didn't work out. Unless it was like obviously a rest day, but if I like had a workout scheduled but I slacked on it, I would feel disgusting. Right? So the inputs become genuinely essential. Eating the right food, I say, equals taking daily showers. Like these things just feel the same. They're standards for yourselves. And you can't comprehend how you used to live. You remember how you used to live, but you don't know how you live like that. And what I mean by that is like I think back to like 2021 before I started my fitness journey. So I technically say I started my fitness journey June 2021, right? So I think back to like I don't know, man, like February 2021. I would wake up maybe I mean let's say it was like I'd wake up maybe like 11 a.m. I'd get on Xbox. I'd play Xbox for like 3 hours, go downstairs, eat some food. For food, I'd probably have like a sandwich with mac and cheese and chips on the side. And then I'd go back, play some more Xbox, and then I'd go eat again, and then I'd go play Xbox. Like, I remember how I used to live. I can't comprehend how I went a day and went to sleep that night being satisfied. Like, if I had a day like that now, for context, this is what my days look like now. I wake up early, I hit the gym, I come back, I make either content for my page or I talk to people in the DMs, and then either depending on what day it is, let's say it's a Saturday like today, I don't have college classes. Normally I have college classes during the week, but the point is like my day is so jam packed with goal oriented tasks that are going to push me further and progress me in life that I can't comprehend spending a day just going from eating junk, playing Xbox, eating more junk, playing Xbox. Like that day just seems extremely unfulfilling. I can't comprehend living that reality now. And that's another thing you can't fake. Like I said, people will be in this like stage 3 or stage 2 and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, dude, I can't believe I used to live like that." But they could, that deep down they remember they could go one day like living like that. I couldn't, right? Because I'm in this new state. Like it's a standard for myself to work on my goals. It's a standard for myself to do these things. That's why I don't like taking vacations, right? Like some of the most, like, as ironic as it is, like some of the most miserable weeks in the last few years have been when I've taken vacations where I'm supposed to relax, but all I want to do is progress towards my goals. Like I can't comprehend sitting on a beach and eating a bunch of food all day. Like I need to make content for my page. I need to grow my business. I need to talk to people. I need to sign on new clients. I need to, help my clients progress. Like all these things. I need to work out. I need to stick to my diet. Like I hate going on vacations. I hate, this what people would call relaxing. Like I genuinely enjoy doing the inputs that get me closer to my goals because like I talked about in the identity shift phase and the optimism phase, I am so in the future gratification that doing these, inputs, as uncomfortable as they may be in the moment, I'm so in the future gratification that I can't even fathom slacking off or enjoying in temporary pleasure. And that's not to say like I'm the hardest working person. Like, yeah, if I'm eating, I like to watch YouTube. It's not always goal oriented videos. Sometimes I watch videos about the NBA. Sometimes I watch videos about whatever. Sometimes, occasionally I'll watch a movie or something, right? But the majority of the time, I don't like to spend indulging in current gratification. I'm always going to, I'm always, I'm so engulfed in the future gratification that doing these inputs will get me, that I genuinely feel the gratification in the moment, right? Like when I'm making content and I make, a bunch of videos or even making this YouTube video right now, I'm like happy to make this. I'm happy to give you guys value, even if this isn't the most fun thing to do, right? Like I could be watching a movie. I could be watching YouTube right now. I could be playing video games right now. Like that would maybe stimulate my brain more, give me more dopamine in the moment. But I'm just so in the future gratification of what this video is going to do to my audience, the value that they're going to abstract from this video, that I feel it now as I'm speaking these words to you. Like I feel the gratification from doing this that is really only present in the future, right? So that's why I say, like, at the bottom here, you'd feel disgusted with yourself if you skip. That's how you really know you're in this new territory. And then it's just game over. Then your standards have changed. Your standards have changed, right? That's not something to take lightly. Your standards, think about your standards right now. Let's say you're in stage 1 or 2 right now. What are your standards? You brush your teeth every day. Maybe you go to work. Maybe you You take a shower every day. Like those are your standards, right? Like if you went to bed without, if you skipped work, if you skipped brushing your teeth, you'd be like, who am I? That's how I feel about my fitness. That's how I feel about my business. That's how I feel about tracking my food, going to the gym. That's how I feel. Like this, like I feel the same emotion you'd feel if you skipped going to work or you skipped taking a shower, right? Like, and I can only say that because I've had both perspectives. So, guys, I mean that's all the video. So, the value to abstract from this video is that when you're on a journey, you fall into one of these. You're in one of these stages right now, right? Whether you're in this initial first few weeks, you're in the motivation stage. I guarantee most of you are in this uncertain investment, and even just the title, uncertain investment, perfectly depicts what this stage is like because you're investing your time, your effort, your money, your stress, your focus. You're investing it into this journey, but you're completely uncertain. You're like genuinely uncertain. You don't know if what you're doing is going to get you to where you want to go. So that's why I say uncertain investment, but you're still working hard, right? You're confusing the effort with the results. You just need to keep going until these inputs that are correct. You are doing the right thing. You just haven't had the results yet. You need to keep pushing until you see the results, and then it's game over. And then you'll enjoy doing it. Imagine if you enjoyed just as much as you enjoy, let's say you're in stage like 1 or 2 right now, just as much as you enjoy eating a whole pizza, that's how much you're going to enjoy going to the gym every single day. The same feeling you're going to get for both. One obviously will completely tear you down and make you feel horrible afterwards. One's going to make you feel amazing afterwards. So you have to keep pushing until your standards actually shift. And then you enter that optimism phase where, as it's described, as it's pictured here, it's like you're biking downhill. It's like the results are coming. You're getting the positive feedback. The results are happening fast. And then, you kind of just coast into the new standards and you just maintain and you continuously see the progress, but it doesn't take as much discipline because your standards have switched. Right. So I hope this video was valuable. This should rewire your brain to be extremely consistent because you can logically picture where you actually are. And if you guys want to work with me one on one and have the opportunity to really accomplish this goal and to have my guidance and to me to actually walk you through step by step, I'll put my call link in the description. You have to fill out all the questions, and if you can't answer the questions, then don't book a call. You can just keep watching my videos. There's still a ton of value there. But if you're really serious about accomplishing this goal, getting over this hump, and you really want that optimal game plan to follow and to just work with me in my one-on-one to have me in your corner, fill out the call link. I'll hop on the phone with you. I'm not going to all I'm doing on this call, like it says in the description, it's like a 5-10 minute call. It's just to really see if I could help you. If I could, we'd book another time and really game plan everything like that. But this is really just to ask you a few questions to really see like if you're serious. Is this something you're really serious about doing now? So if that sounds like you, book a call with me. We'll chat soon. And I'm pretty fast at responding to those. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I hope this was valuable. Also, today was day 234 of doing my 50 morning push-ups. So if you want to follow along that journey, follow me on Instagram at BetterLifestyle365, and I'll see you guys on the other side.